I went to Las Vegas for the Excel World Championship, and while it was incredible, there's some stuff we need to talk about. This competition is growing fast, and we want it to reach its full potential, then there's some challenges that we need to address. So today, I'm breaking down what I see as the 5 biggest issues around competitive Excel. And no, it's not just about making Harry Gross's cases easier to solve. Number 1 is the gender gap. This is, I think, the most important issue facing this competition. The numbers don't lie. Only 2 women made it as far as the semi-finals last year, and neither of them made the final 12. The Excel Collegiate Challenge published some data on this, where they showed that only a quarter of their competitors identified as female, and I think it's even lower for that main competition. And here's what makes this so frustrating. We have so many fantastic women in the Excel community, from college level competitors all the way through to MVPs. One quick win? Why not mix up that commentary box a bit more? Oz and Giles did a fantastic job, but 2 long days of commentating, that's a great opportunity. Why not mix it up and get some guest commentators in that booth? You could use this as an opportunity to get more female voice in this competition. Draw on people like Danielle Stein-Fairhurst or Emma from Dictionary Corner, both of whom were there in the room during the competition. You could also bring in case authors to talk about their creations, or competitors fresh off their rounds. I think it would just make the competition more engaging. If you're a woman watching this and you want to get involved, but you're a bit nervous about the whole thing, maybe worried it's a bit of a boys' club, this community is fantastic. There's also a brilliant ladies-only group that runs online practice sessions and virtual meetups. And that goes for anyone else watching this too. You don't need to think about being the top of the pack or uber competitive. There's a fantastic Excel network out there ready to help you develop your skills and your confidence. The next issue is the rising complexity gap. Now, this is a tricky one. We're seeing the best competitors building their own Lambda functions, custom VBA, and doing all sorts of other preparation ready for these cases, and that is so exciting. But as that skill ceiling keeps rising, it creates a challenge. How do you make this competition accessible to newcomers while still allowing the Excel elite to compete at the highest levels? And just as importantly, how do we make these advanced techniques understandable to spectators? People should be able to learn some of these techniques from watching as opposed to losing track of what's happening. Number 3 is about some of the organizational chaos we've seen. Let me take you back to semi-final number 1. Klinsmann's isometric chaos case should have been one of the talking points of the competition, with its brilliantly rotated grid causing players and spectators alike to tilt their heads. Instead, we had actual chaos on stage, as some of the PCs had localization settings which hadn't been reset after the previous round. Keyboards were sending wrong characters, and Excel was demanding semicolons instead of commas. With an event this size, there's always going to be issues, things are going to go wrong. It's how you deal with them that counts. People shouldn't be being eliminated because of someone else's settings. Something should have been done, a pause, or a reset, or using a backup case instead. Surely, in the HyperX eSports arena, there's some way of resetting PCs between rounds, or at the very least, providing a checklist for players so they know exactly what to check when they sit down. Number 4 is the Vegas factor, and don't get me wrong, Vegas was amazing, and the HyperX eSports arena was an incredible setting for the Excel World Championship. But Vegas creates some real barriers. Between the jet lag, all of the Century inputs, and the fact that visas just aren't simple for everyone, it makes it really hard for anyone outside of the USA to compete. If we're going to keep growing with worldwide appeal, then maybe we need to start thinking about rotating where those finals are held. With my teaching background, this one really sticks out for me. Number 5 is instruction overload. The best Excel cases are the ones that are easy to see what's going on, but hard to implement. Take Harry Gross's Lana Banana case as an example. While this case is feared by many, like most of Harry's cases, it's not because of all of the text and the complicated instructions, it's because it's really hard to solve in Excel. In this case, you were trying to navigate a cheeky monkey called Lana around a garden as she tried to collect as many bananas as she could. The instructions were short, easy to follow, and you could visually see what you were trying to achieve. His most recent case, We're Not on Kansas Anymore, is another great example, as is Klinsmann's case Isometric Chaos. In teaching, we call this low threshold, high ceiling, something which is simple to understand, but fiendishly difficult to master. By contrast, we've seen a lot of cases recently with novel length instructions that just get lost in translation. Whether it's a difficult word choice, ambiguity, or just the sheer amount of text to read, it's too much. This is a blocker for all sorts of people, like if English isn't your first language, or you have some form of neurodivergence that makes reading difficult, like dyslexia. This is an Excel competition. The winner shouldn't be crowned just because the other kids can't read good. Look, I'm raising these issues because I love this competition and I want it to continue to grow. They are opportunities to take something great and make it even more special. I'd love to know what you think. What are some of the biggest challenges you see facing this competition? Or is it perfect just the way it is? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see a bit more about the Excel World Championship, why not check out this video next? And until next time, keep excelling.